What's going on? It's Dapper Don, and I'm excited to welcome you all back to another episode. So this topic, things men do to creep out women, part two, was actually suggested to me by some friends of mine in a club I was going to. They basically, I told them about part one of the episode, and they were like, "You should do a part two." And I was like, "Okay, I'd do a part two, but with a guest." And so I now have a guest. Introducing Allison, everybody.
Hi.
Allison, tell the good people about yourself.
Um, I mean, I just psychology major. I thought this would be an interesting topic because I've dealt with certain things like this, so I thought I might have some cool insight to
Mm-hmm.
add to this discussion.
Okay, and tell me, what are some of the stories that you have of dealing with men, creeping you out?
Um, More or less like one time when I was 15, I was just walking in my own neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
and like it was a nice day out, so I was like, okay, I'll just take a walk. And some car like pulled up, and I don't remember what he said. I think he said something like, "Damn, shoddy" or something,
Oh God.
and just drove off. And I was just like, huh? And so I took that as catcalling, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like that was obviously uncomfortable because one, I don't know who you are. Two, you don't even know my age, so that's creepy.
Yep.
Like I was 15 at the time. That's just weird. So that's
And
just one of them.
men think that that works. That's the crazy part. They think that that works. Do you have any other stories?
Um,
Maybe while you were out and about.
I had a friend that was always the like, he was really weird and trying to get close to me all the time, and it was always
Mm-hmm.
weird, like, about my boyfriends trying to, like, get me to break up with them, sort of, like, telling me they're, like, bad people, which they were, but it wasn't for
It was
my
not.
personal gain, it was for his
Yeah,
personal
it was
gain.
not a benevolent motive. It was like I'm trying to get in the pants.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God. And yeah, I've heard plenty of stories. Every person I've talked to of the femme persuasion has always told me at least one story about that creepy friend, somebody approaching them while they're pumping gas, stuff like that. So that's why I was like, this cannot just be a one part topic. And to kind of prove just how prevalent this topic is, I've actually pulled together a number of articles that we're going to read here together and react to accordingly. First one is from Yahoo Life. Uh, it's kind of I think it's linking to BuzzFeed or it's connected with BuzzFeed. Either way, women are revealing things men do every day that are actually creepy as fuck. And as a fellow human, I can confirm these are 100% accurate. Despite it being the 21st century, women everywhere are still sadly dealing with creepy, inappropriate, and downright toxic behavior from men. Yes, there are certain actions that people immediately recognize as threatening. However, some habits or behaviors that many deem normal or don't even notice themselves doing still terrify women without their realizing it. And just in case I forget, the article is by Carly Suthers, November 18th, 2024. So, when an online conversation went viral asking women of Reddit, what things do men do that frighten you without them realizing it? I knew I had to share a few stories that most women can, unfortunately, relate to. From aggressive driving to unannounced hugs, here are 19 things men unknowingly do that scare women. Story number one: I love hiking and have it in my dating profile as one of my hobbies. Men have gotten very angry when I don't want to do that as a first date. I go with my cousin, friends, and kids, but I know them all well. I'm not going into the woods alone with a stranger. So, have you ever been on a dating site and made a profile and had to deal with anything like that regarding it?
Um, Thankfully not. I was one of those people that stayed away from dating
Mm-hmm.
sites just because I didn't trust any of that. Like, good for you if it works out, like you found your soulmate, but
Right.
I personally don't. I just don't trust all that.
Right, right. And we did an episode on dating sites, and while I'm not completely against them, as the episode wouldn't have you believe that I'm not completely against them, but I am not completely against them. I still think that it's like they video gamify dating, and that encourages some creepy behavior too. Anyways, story number two. I'll give you a personal example. When I was 14 or 15, I was at the movies with a friend who was sitting to my left. Two rows ahead was my family, the rest of the theater was empty. An older man, probably in his 50s, sat to my right. I was uncomfortable because he chose the one directly next to me out of all the seats he could have chosen. I was wearing shorts. He put his hand under part of the armrest and began touching and feeling my thigh. I asked my friend to move over and she did, and so did I, by one seat only. The man left the theater minutes later. That is scary. Sometimes it can be absent minded, sometimes it is extremely serious, intentional, and predatory. So have you ever had somebody like you don't even know them, and they just keep getting close? They keep trying to get physically close to you.
Yeah, I had someone at work do that actually. It was
Really?
Yeah, and funny enough, it also had something to do with shorts. So
Oh no.
yeah, I was just wearing shorts at work, and this like
Mm-hmm.
really older man, like he was bald and had like a whitish gray beard. I had no idea what his age was because
Oh
I mean I
no.
work with multiple age groups, so I'm used to it. But
Right.
he made a comment about my shorts. I can't remember if he was saying something like, "Oh, those are nice shorts. Where'd you get those?" or something.
Uh,
But then he grabbed me by the back of my shoulders later, like not like sometime
are
later
you
after he said
serious?
this. Yeah. And it freaked me out and sent me into a panic attack. I guess he was just trying to move me so he could get by me, but you could have just said, "Excuse me," or "I'm right behind you," and I would have moved. You don't have
Right.
to move me, especially when you're like a 6'4" tall
Oh
man I
my
don't know,
god.
and
So
I'm
he was
just
just like ginormous, big Santa Claus looking motherfucker, and just
yeah.
like grabbing this like tiny individual, and oh god, ugh.
Yeah, I was like 17 at the time, I think. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why? 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 Why is it that the older they are, the younger they go after? Jesus Christ!
Freaky.
Oh my god! I tell you, but like, yeah, I don't know, because the last episode we did, we found out that that was kind of a common tactic that men do as an excuse to touch the woman is pretend to be moving her. But generally, people can hear, so you don't have to physically touch them to move them. He saw that you had shorts, and he didn't want to go for the small of the back or the legs, so he went for the shoulders. Classic tactic. Y'all be safe out here. Number three. When they block my path, like stand in a way and corner me so I'll be coerced into a conversation. Scary as fuck. I had a guy in college ask me out twice in person, and both times he cornered me against a wall to do so. At least the second time, other people intervened to get him to leave me alone. So, and this is something that I've seen happen a lot, is men approach women in a way that they can't really like get away from. Like there's the classic example of the woman pumping gas and the man approaching her. It's a situation that she can't get away from. She's pumping gas into her car. So she can't get away because she paid for the gas. And so the man just has this like captive audience until she's done. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Um, Thankfully, no. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I do pump my own gas. Yeah, I just don't, that's why I always look around and watch my surroundings at the gas station because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like concerned someone's gonna come up to me and do something weird. So,
Okay. Yeah, no, no. And it's like it's like the cornering, the it's I don't know, it's something about like weird those weirdos where they get some kind of joy out of like there's no way she can escape. She's not able to defend herself. That's why I always recommend people carry weapons and
yep.
use them responsibly, but still carry them. Anyways, the story continues. He wasn't a big dude. In fact, he may have been shorter than me, but he was an asshole and I was genuinely scared. I still don't get why he kept asking me out. He was not interested in getting to know me or particularly nice to me. He tried at least one other time via Facebook. Social media stalking ever take place in your life?
Actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I guess more or less with both men and women, but I mean, it just more or less happens with women that I've known in high school. So
Ah.
yeah, more or less. Like they're trying to like I haven't spoken to this person. And the whole reason she had my attention was just because her man kept trying to get with me.
Huh.
And so she only knew so he kept talking about me to her, which was like, why would you do that? That's your girlfriend.
Red flag.
So she immediately like came up to me and she called me like, "Oh, so you're the big titty B word that keeps talking to my man." And I was like, "Excuse me? I'm not talking to your man." So
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a lot to unpack there. So how did you know that? So like, what did he do when he was trying to get with you? Like, how did you kind of know that was happening? Did she tell you, or did you just know from his like body language?
I could tell from the way he was like talking to me all the time and always trying to and getting like close with me in like a
Mm-hmm.
school setting, especially gym class of all classes. So
Hmm.
and because we had swim together, so that was even more because he was always like, yeah, every
Oh,
time we swam, I couldn't control my thoughts or something. And I was like, what?
because he saw you in a
Yeah,
swimsuit. Oh God.
yeah, the whole yeah.
So, um, so let me ask you a question because would he had he been single, would any of what he did have worked? Had he been single, had the girl not been in the picture, would that have worked? Would the constantly being close to you, would the telling you that he couldn't control his sexual urges, would the persistence have worked?
No, not really. I mean, he.
You mean being needlessly persistent to the point of annoyance doesn't work? You mean to tell me that it doesn't work? Oh no! What are we gonna do? Oh my god! Oh no! It doesn't work? You mean to tell me annoying a girl until she wants to kill you doesn't work? Oh golly gee! Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that no, you're not that charming. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Number 4. I'm a bartender, and I can't tell you how many times a guy has reached over the bar and pulled my hair in a quote playful way when my back is turned. Then they get upset when I don't find it cute or funny. Anybody ever try to play rough with you as an excuse to touch you? Or have you ever seen that? Any of your friends told you that?
I don't think so.
Hmm. That one's a rather new one as people get more brazen. I don't see it much, but when I do see it, it's just like, dude, stop. Come on. Come on. Number 5, and I think this will be one of the last ones in this article that we'll cover because we got to move on. But when they say, you're lucky I'm a nice guy is just nice. They don't have to tell me about it. And that also means you're thinking about what you could be doing if you weren't a nice guy. I hate it when men act like they're a great guy because they take no for an answer or they've never assaulted or hit a woman. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to tell you this. That should be normal behavior. Not hitting a woman doesn't make you exceptional. Have you heard of those people? Those fedora tippers? Milady. You've heard of those people? Where like as soon as you turn them down, oh, I'm such a nice guy. You're missing out. You're missing your chance because I could have walked up to you and grabbed your ass full tilt and lifted you up like Rocket Man. I don't understand those people. But yeah, that's an old classic of creepy guy. That's an old classic. But anyways, oh wait, actually this won't be the last one because I got one more that I want you to kind of react to. Number 6, hitting on us while we're working. You didn't sense a spark. We are just getting paid to be nice to you. And cornering us in a place where we can't leave is extremely uncomfortable at best and terrifying/dangerous at worst. Always happened when I was a barista. I was super friendly with every customer, but guys would think it meant something because I remembered their usual. Now, you don't have to say where you work, but what industry are you in?
Fast food.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So you get those people that'll come up to the line and talk to you and think because you're like, hi, how can I help you? Oh, she's like my dream girl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next article. This is a BuzzFeed article. I normally don't reference BuzzFeed, but when it comes to like stuff that happens as far as women stuff, I do kind of refer to BuzzFeed a little bit. This article is by Shelby Heinrich of BuzzFeed staff. And like I said, I normally don't refer to BuzzFeed, but like when it comes to stuff like things women like, they can be like maybe accurate 50% of the time. So let's see if they're accurate today. Let's roll the dice. I recently wrote a post about a viral Reddit thread where women shared creepy behavior they regularly experience from men. Checking the time on the recording. Okay, we're good. And because the BS women have to deal with knows no bounds, it inspired a ton of comments and stories from our own BuzzFeed community. Here are some more creepy, gross, annoying behaviors women would like men to retire ASAP. Oh, making comments about my body and weight. I ran into someone I haven't seen in 3 years, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Damn, you got hella chunky. Did you have a baby or are you just eating a lot?" Like, fuck you, honestly. Don't make comments about my weight. Just don't do it. Tell me, should we be commenting on anybody's body about anything?
No.
No, no, no. Does that work? Have you ever seen that work?
Nope.
Just walk up to a motherfucker. Damn, you got fat. Here's my number.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. I mean, I ain't never tried it, so I don't have that sociopath riz, so I don't know. But Anyways, number two, when I'm on a date with a guy and he tells me things he could only know if he did deep dives into my socials and the socials of my friends and family. Now, is a degree of thoroughness about knowing somebody good? Yes. But should it be only really details that they've told you from asking them? Oh, absolutely. What would you think if a guy just showed up and immediately knew things, like on a date and immediately knew things like your fucking birthday and you didn't tell him a goddamn thing? What would you think?
I would immediately think this guy is obsessed with me. He's probably creepy, and if I get in this relationship, he's probably going to kill me if I try to leave.
Yeah, like, axe murderer, take you out into the woods into a cabin, and next thing you know, you're the rug type of deal, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, it doesn't communicate care. It communicates, wow, this person is going to FBI agent me. I'm gonna go missing. All right, number three, trying to invite me over for the first date instead of meeting in a public space, and or not understanding that I want to buy my own drink in case it gets spiked. First part of that, I don't believe that a real date is at the house. Too many people have first dated me and it's been their fucking house. It is not your house. Do not invite the first date to your house. Go to a coffee shop. Go for a walk, not in the woods. Anywhere else but the house. And second, I don't know. I didn't realize that people weren't letting people buy their own drinks. Have you seen that? Like people just kind of.
Yeah, sometimes like I guess the man probably thinks he has to pay for everything in that sense, so he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Yeah, I'll buy you your drink or whatever." I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but that's again, if he's buying it, we don't know what he's gonna do to it, so that's exactly why we would want to buy it, so we know what's in it and what's going on with it.
It gets spooky.
Yeah.
Okay, now, question: what do you think about going out on a date and the man paying for everything in general? Do you think that's good? Do you think that's creepy? Do you think that's outdated? What do you think?
It kind of just depends on like if it's like the first date and let's say like the man initiated the date, like, hey, let's go
Mm-hmm.
to I don't know Texas Roadhouse. I don't know. That's probably I don't know. But he says, hey, let's go to this said restaurant, and then they meet there. Then I feel like if it was his idea and his restaurant choice, then maybe he should pay for it. Or like if she leaves and doesn't like it, then maybe yeah, then I guess he has to. Or
Right.
like I just feel like whoever starts the date should pay for the date. Or I guess if you want, pay for your own meal and not pay for the
Right.
other person.
Right. I mean, as for myself, I tend to do it somewhat traditionally, really only if they consent to it. But if they like insist, no, I got it, we're going to go 50-50, because I've learned the consequences of not doing that. This is going to be a quick first date story. So, the first date I ever went on was in high school, and it was for the homecoming, right? And I was so nervous, so sweaty, and so intimidated. Oh my God. You would have thought I was you would have thought I was just like I had never gone outside before. It was so scary. Um, but yeah, we go to this nice Chinese place, and the people there, nice, but they talk a little fast, almost like they're speaking another language or something. I don't know. But they they basically they do that thing where they basically give you the menu and then they suggest things, except they were speaking half Chinese, half English. So I didn't know what they were saying. Ended up getting family sized portions for two people who did not have much time to be there, and I had to pay for it. And I insisted on paying for it by myself. She was like, "No, I got it. I'll get half. The food was good. It's fine." But I insisted that no, I had to pay for this. This is what you do on a date. Didn't help that my parents had hyped my head up into thinking that's what you did. And then I was all but completely ignorant to the fact that modern society does not quite work that way. Especially when like it's just a date before a dance, and then it's like there will be other times. But no, I didn't register with that. I had to pay for that right then and there, and I didn't have enough money. Tried to take money out of my savings. Wasn't enough. I ended up having to borrow money from my mother. This was when I was 18, so it was okay. But I ended up having to borrow money from my mother to help pay for this date. So my thinking now is like, if I have the money to pay for it and she consents to it, fine. But if I don't have, but if she like wants to go 50-50, by all means, because you know, most of the time when women say these things, it's because they've had a certain set of experiences. And now I understand. It took me some years, but now I understand. Yeah. All right, moving on to number 4. Touching my lower back when they need to get past me at a concert and or in a club. They always claim that they didn't think I'd hear them, but interestingly enough, I've yet to see a guy do it to another man. That's because if they do it to another man, they're gonna get knocked the fuck out. I mean, but yeah, we've already talked about this. Like, there's just guys finding excuses to touch the girlies, and yeah, that don't work out. That don't work out too well. Oh, men who pressure me to smoke weed, number 5. If you like to smoke it, that's perfectly fine. Go for it. But whenever I tell a guy that I don't like marijuana, he's like, well, you just haven't been smoking the right stuff. You don't know how to inhale. I'll show you how to do it right. How about no? How about I just don't want to? Yeah. So, any experiences similar to that in relation to that?
Um, Similar in the sense that like I dated, I guess I kind of still am, but well, when I met this guy, he was like a daily weed smoker, like stoner basically, and I grew up in like a sheltered kind of household, so yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, don't do that. You got to be sober because I ain't doing all that. And then he didn't pressure me. He had to say like, come on, just try it, or come on, do this. I
Right.
just said like I would just, if I was gonna try anything, I would do edibles because I don't want to put any smoke or anything in my lungs.
Right, and you can get just a teeny bit of that.
Yeah, and so he didn't push anything on me, but he kind of offered it and in like my own consent way. So he didn't push it on me. He just was like, "There's no way I'm gonna stop. So if you want to leave because of that, then leave." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I just work with it.
Oh, well, I mean, and see, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a stoner or encouraging other people to try it. Where my problem comes in is there are men out there who will do that because marijuana puts you into a very not sober state, a state where your decisions are based purely on like lack of inhibition and whatnot, and that's why they want you to do it because they're hoping they can sneak in, and a lot of people even sneak other drugs into the marijuana. I've seen it. So, like, I think that's a red flag out of the gate. Somebody's like, it's one thing if they're just like, hey, come on, try it, live a little, or let me live a little. But if they're like actually forcing you, if they're like trying to like, let me show you, come on, come on, come on, they're up to some bullshit. They're up to some bullshit. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, he never forced me to like. He never tried to show me anything. I genuinely asked if I was curious, and he didn't force anything. Thankfully.
So, number 6, trying to debate me into sleeping with them. I don't want to fuck you is all the reason I need, bro. Come on, man. Who wouldn't want to sleep with a guy like me? Come on. Come on. I'm packing heat, man. Have you ever had anybody try to debate you into like sleeping with them, dating them, anything like that?
Um, like debate, like argue about it, like genuinely.
Like genuinely argue about it to the point where it's just like, dude, stop. Just give up. I already said no. And there's no amount of like filibustering that's going to get me to say yes.
I mean, I kind of had an ex-boyfriend do that where I just like he kept wanting to do the same sexual act and I wasn't in the mood and I was like no. And the only way I could get him to stop is if I gave into it and was like okay fine. But okay fine is not a yes, so therefore that was not actual consent. So therefore, that was considered spousal assault because he kept going, please, 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 until
Yes.
yeah. So I
Like,
gave in.
even if it doesn't have to be like pinning you against the wall. It could be something as simple as whining like a baby until
Mhm.
it happens. And
Mhm.
then now it's just like a dissociation episode for like 3 or 4 minutes while he gets his rocks off. And it's just like that's still rape.
Mhm.
Um that's still rape. It's a little bit on the weird side, but it's still rape.
Yeah.
um That's a long one. Number 7. I can't stand it when men keep asking me to send them a pic, even if they just ask for a face photo. I don't think they understand how insecure I get when I try to take a selfie, especially if it's one of those days where I'm wearing no makeup and my hair's dirty. Even when I'm looking cute, it takes 100 selfies to take one decent picture. If I don't feel like taking a selfie, please don't say things like, boo, that's lame, or it just takes a second. Respect my boundaries, and I'll send you a picture when I feel like it. I have never asked a woman for a picture of herself. I don't understand why people would rather than just meeting in person. I mean I understand the actual. I mean it's they're jacking off to it, but like
Yeah.
I don't know why they think that would remotely work in a million years. Anybody ever done that to you?
Um, I don't think so. I mean,
It is a little. It's like just the consistent, like just asking for a picture. I've seen it happen. I've seen people show me text where it's happened. And it's just like, eh.
oh yeah, it has. Yeah, it was. I think it was the same ex I just said because yeah, he would get mad if I didn't send like a good enough photo, and like that lady said, it's the same thing. It takes like 100 photos to get the perfect right one, and
Yes.
especially if I'm not having a good day or good hair day, like I'm not gonna do. And it's the same thing of like begging for a picture or being upset about it, and it's just like, what is the point in being upset about it? Are you trying to guilt trip of me and just sending one, or like?
He just wanted one because he had his dick in his hand at that particular point, and if you didn't send
Mhm.
one, he was gonna lose his erection. But
Damn right.
it's like I don't know. It's like if you're asking a woman to take a proper selfie and send it to you, they treat that like an art, bro. Like
Yeah.
they Photoshop that motherfucker. You ain't getting that for 3 to 5 business days,
Yeah.
and then as if they remember to send it to you in the first place. Number 8, telling me that I look better without makeup or saying that I wear too much. I'm not wearing it for you. My makeup is art. I spend thousands on makeup to make my art, so best believe I'm not considering your opinion at all. I know I don't need it because I also look beautiful without it. Men also hate when you know that you're beautiful instead of faking insecurity. So, I have seen this, and I've seen it way more on the LGBTQ plus side of things with femme presenting individuals, like at pride events or something like that, where people just say the most brazen, stupid shit that I've ever heard. But yeah. So what? Because this is an area that most men have trouble navigating. I find. What is the proper way to address a woman wearing makeup or a femme
Um.
presenting individual wearing makeup?
I mean, I would just say, like, not even you look pretty, like, or you look pretty today, because today suggests they don't look pretty every
And
day.
right,
So I would say, like, your makeup looks really nice, or what makeup palette are you using? That's like really cool looking, or something. Like I would say something like that because again, a lot of people put a lot of time and work into like the eyeshadow or the blush or whatever to
mm-hmm,
make it look a certain way, and so it's like we did that on purpose. And so if we show up without makeup and show up with makeup, like the whole point is just to add to the look. It's not
right,
necessarily we're insecure. I mean, some women, yes, they can be, and that's why they do it. But again, like if we know we're good without it, like I don't wear makeup all the time. If I have time for that, then yeah. If I want it to go with my look, then
right.
yeah. But I don't always have time for that, and I don't think I'm not insecure to the point where I feel like I need makeup. So it's a kind of a hurtful, rude comment just because it's like we're beautiful with and without it, and the whole reason of the makeup is to either add to the look or do some kind of cool art. That's about it.
Right. And I just kind of wanted to cuz it's like approaching somebody drawing. You wouldn't say, "Oh, that's nice, but that character would look better with pointier ears." Right?
Yeah.
You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to have a good time. And again, most women treat their pictures, their makeup, most femme presenting individuals treat their entire existence as a piece of art. You don't rush perfection.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. And you don't tell them what to do with it. If you don't like them the way they look, bitch, there's somebody who does.
Yep, and you can just look at somebody else.
Yep.
You don't gotta look at me.
Yep. Number 9, complimenting me by favorably comparing me to other women. Like, you're beautiful and sweet, and these other women are ugly bitches. Oh, wow. Way to tell the entire world that you don't know how to talk to women. Cause why? Cause why? Why? What, like, and in a situation like this, what does the guy think is gonna happen? That she's just gonna be like, oh yeah, even though I'm a woman, I hate all women, so I'm definitely gonna go for you. Is that what? Like, I've only seen that happen one or two other times, and it's normally been with like really, really desperate people. But it's like, so. Imagine if that was race, right? Oh wow, you're a really pretty black woman. All these other black women are sluts and hoes. It doesn't sound right, does it? Doesn't quite sound right, does it? No, no. Number 10. When you're talking to guys on dating apps and they try to talk you into giving them a massage or back rub when you haven't even met them. They act like they're playing innocent and it's just a harmless shoulder rub, but they're all just trying to initiate sex. And if you don't want to do it, then you're a prude who just doesn't care about how they're sore or hurting. Gaslighting level 1. Haven't seen that. I've only seen that ever seen that once. It was with a friend of mine back when I was going to another college, and he made the guy pay for it. So it was wonderful. It was wonderful. It's like, if you're gonna do it, if we're gonna do it, you're gonna give me some money. Number 11. Using my phone number I've given them for business or delivery purposes to ask me out. Like, dude, you've just delivered food to my door, which means you know where I live. You know from the fact that you delivered food for one that I probably live alone, and now you're texting me. All the while, I don't even know you. It's scary as fuck. Um, Again, don't hit on your door dashers. Leave them alone. Just let them be. They don't want to be in your neighborhood any more than you probably want them. And then just let them go. Just leave them be. You'll literally never see them again. There's no point in talking to them like that. Just get your food and get moving.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure they didn't eat your food. Yeah. If they ate your food, then you can Liam Neeson hunt them down. But other than that, leave them alone. Number 12, and this will be the last one we look at. Giving some super creepy compliment like, I like the way your body part looks in that article of clothing, and then acting hurt and offended when we aren't appreciative of said super creepy compliment. Any of the super specific compliments are gonna kind of border on the creepy. Oh, I like the way your breasts look in that top. Like, any of the super specific ones, like, you can say that's a nice Slipknot hoodie. That's great, love it. But any of the ones that are like, oh, look at those stems, like the way those legs look in those shorts, it's gonna be a little sketchy. You ever had any experiences with that?
Possibly it might be the same like short situation with that same guy, but it was so long ago I don't remember if he said anything like that. I just know he said he liked how the shorts like looked on me and that he liked the design of the shorts and he wanted to know where I got them.
Even though they were not looking at the design of the
Like
shorts.
he's gonna wear them like this big like the Santa Claus dude is gonna wear these tight biker shorts. Like why are you asking me where I got them?
Because he was looking at somewhere else. Yep. All right. And now, let me see. Oh, 33 minutes in. Okay, we've got some pretty good content out of this. We're going to look at something else. This is Yahoo Life. This is an article by BuzzFeed on Yahoo Life, September 15, 2023. I'm a guy and this annoys me. Men and women are sharing the creepy things men often do, and as a woman, I agree with several. These are once again going to be different ones. Number 1, they sit next to you when you're the only two people in a place with many, many seats. We've already been over that. Don't do that. That doesn't work. And in general, they're just places where you don't want to approach people. You know, anywhere where it's dark, like in a movie theater, you don't really want to approach someone. They're trying to watch the movie. On the street is sketchy. Anywhere where you guys have a common interest is sketchy. like in general, I think the best circumstances of approaching someone is in a situation where there's some kind of proximity necessary. Other than that, you're just like you're really throwing the dice here because imagine you're at the museum looking at a piece of art and then some stranger approaches you asking for your number. Really degrades the quality of the place, doesn't it?
Yep.
Hey, where do you work? Oh, which one? Yeah, there's like six of them. Which one do you work at? No, I won't show up at your work. LOL. hey, hey, did you block me? What did I do wrong? Wanting that super specific information. Do you live alone? Where do you work? Why do you work there? What shifts do you work? Unless that information is volunteered, because it has to be volunteered, don't ask for it. Anybody ever like ask you like what time you got off from work? Like, hey, Shorty, what time you get off from work? I want to take you here. I've seen that so many times.
Um, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've had people ask, like both men and women ask me when I get off work, and I'm just like, why do you care? Like, I'll tell if I want to tell you, I'll tell you. But,
Anybody lifting you off the ground to hug you? Has that happened? I have not seen that as much. I think in general because touch boundaries have been more clear established. But have you ever seen anybody get lifted off the ground and hugged and then get put back down? And they just look so uncomfortable, like a ruffled cat.
yeah, I think I've been picked up before without wanting to. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's just like nah. Let me see. Yeah, asking you out while you're in a situation where you cannot leave. We already been over that. Ah, not backing off when a woman indicates in any way whatsoever, verbally or physically, she isn't interested. If they continue or think they can continue to harass you to change your mind. So, what are, and this is a part of the episode I kind of wanted to kind of get out there. This is kind of one of the big questions I wanted to ask. When it comes to women and femme presenting individuals, what are say some your top five signs that you probably want to exit the conversation with them post haste?
Um, more or less, like yeah, if they ask weird questions, if they make weird comments about my body or my clothes or
Mm-hmm.
something, the makeup thing, or I guess yeah, I guess that's it. I'm not sure.
And what are some signs that like a woman is not interested in you when you're talking to her?
Oh yeah, so she usually like so a lot of people will say things with their facial expressions without
Mm-hmm.
even trying sometimes. So usually facial expressions are the first key, and then the second one is just obviously if she's verbally denying you, then that's already a verbal
Right.
denial.
What are some exit phrases that kind of women use or like exit looks? Because um, I know I've done some research online because I've never. I mean, I don't know. When people tell me that they're ready to leave a conversation with me, I just let them leave. So I've never really had to look at their faces. I can just be like, "All right, see you," because I. But like, what are some like gestures or things a woman says? It's like she's about to leave because she's no longer interested in talking to you, but she's not going to tell you that so that you don't pop up and like follow her home. What are some things that like kind of work? You know, that kind of happen. Like, okay, in situations you've been in where you've been uncomfortable, what are some things that you've done to convey that without actually saying, I'm uncomfortable?
Um, I guess like I more or less would say like I have to go because and then I say like a family thing or like even if I didn't have a person I was with at the time, I would say
Mm-hmm.
like oh yeah my boyfriend's waiting on me or say something about that. But then usually they think you're lying because immediately they're like oh of course he's gonna play the boyfriend or she's gonna play the boyfriend card so that
Right.
but I mean just as long as you or you could say something about your dad maybe say like oh yeah I'm about to go get
Mm-hmm.
dinner with my dad or something, or I gotta go. I'm gonna be
Right.
late to lunch with my dad or something.
And it's kind of that looking at the eyes, looking at any near exits, kind of that
Yeah,
body has is tilted away. That they're using that tone too. Well, all right. It's like the I think they call it the Southern goodbye, where it's like, well, all right. You're just talking, you're using that upward tone of like, all right, okay. And then you just start like,
yeah,
yeah, like anytime you hear those kind of intonations where it sounds like they're responding to you, but it sounds like a goodbye. Like, um, if you're asking like, oh, how many pets do you have? Oh, well, I have two. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, that's that article because the other is kind of retreading. But now we're gonna go through because we're at 40 minutes. Now we're gonna go through some stories that I have been sent, and I have a list of names, but we're not gonna say any of the names. It's just gonna be anonymous 1, 2, 3, and 4. Anonymous number 3 is actually my actual sister. So, um, I don't know. I'll talk to her later about it if she wants to be tagged. Probably still not gonna tag her because screw you. But anyways, the first story here was sent to me on Instagram by anonymous number 1. Oh, I took a screenshot of it. That's right, because it was buried way, way deep in my conversations. So, yes. Asked to date you if they pay your rent. This happened to me last month, says anonymous. So I ask her, I say, tell me more about that. I could read it on the show. I'll keep you anonymous. Yo, I got you. So we're sitting at lunch talking, and I bring up the fact that I hated being broke. Then he said, I could pay you back the money the apartment takes out for rent that they're living in. So, and the stipulation, let me see now. The stipulation, let me see. Come on. There's got to be, oh, it's part 2 right here. I then ask for the catch. He types this into my inbox. Yeah, lol. And then she also says that she dated a cult member, and one of the exes that she had was into a violent BDSM cult on Discord. Not exactly the most full of riz. But anyways, that's story 1. And then story number 2 is a little bit longer, sent to me by another anonymous person. Anonymous number 2. Hold on, I gotta pull up Messenger. Okay. This one is a little bit longer. So back in 2019 in my hometown, I was taking the trash out one night and this guy I'd never seen came up to me. He started getting really touchy, like hugging me out of nowhere and trying to be all flirty. The guy had also asked how old I was, if I lived alone, if he could get my number. He had a boner and was pushing against me while saying stuff like, damn, you're cute. You smell so good and I'd want to be with someone like you. He kept asking if I had a boyfriend, and even though I told him I did, I was with my ex, Ethan, at the time. He didn't back off. At what point he put his forehead against mine, holds my face, and goes, I know you said you have a boyfriend, but can I please have a kiss? I said no, and I pushed him off me, then went straight back inside. He was still calling after me, asking if he'd ever see me again, and all this other weird stuff. I was totally freaking out on the inside. As soon as I got back inside, I called Ethan and told him everything. I was shaking. I had no idea who the guy was, and I never saw him before that night. He just went into the apartment right next to mine, and afterward, like nothing happened. Turned out he was visiting he was visiting his friend. I told her what happened the next day. She was shocked and pissed, and she said she'd talk with him about it. A few weeks later, she comes to me and tells me that he tried to say I'm lying. She ended up stopping being friends with him. Never saw the dude again. Yeah, not great. So that's story number 2. Story number 3. My sister sent a voice message on this, but I remember what she said. Basically, she has this boyfriend, and every time she stops talking to him, he'll hit her up from multiple accounts, constantly call her, text her, email her. I want to take flight on the guy. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
I would too.
But I'm staying out of it because she's an adult. But I really want to take flight on the guy. So there's that.
I feel like that's a normal older brother situation though. Like the older brother always wants to protect the younger sister, especially since you are a man. You know how other men can think, so it's you want to be there and protect her. I mean, my dad's literally the same way with me. So
I mean, I'll tell you this, right? As soon as she gives the word, I'm gonna kick his ass. Something special.
Grab the popcorn.
I'm gonna kick his ass. And then this last one was by a new friend I made in a group chat that some friends of mine put me in, and this was sent to me individually. And I think the story, Snapchat saved it for me. So it was, I believe, a couple of months ago into my second trimester of pregnancy. I was heading into my doctor's office, and I had some time before my appointment, so I stopped at a vending machine to grab a snack and a water. A guy came up and asked me if I had any spare change. I figured, what the heck? Happy to help. And I gave him like $5 to $6 that I had. He said thanks, and I went to my doctor's. It was about an hour or so when I came out, and he walked up to me and started asking questions. They were normal at first, like how old are you and how's your day, etc. But then he started just getting real close to me, even when I was moving away. I forgot to mention I was waiting on a ride home, so I was inside the lobby area. Anyways, he started asking if I'd go on a date with him. I kept saying no, that I'm not interested, but he kept insisting that a little lady needs a strong man. So when he kept trying to hold my hand and hug me. Very creepy and assaulty. Thankfully, a guy who was in the doctor's office had come out and I guess saw I was uncomfortable and told the guy to leave me alone or he'd call the cops. So, yeah. So now this is another part. What are some safety tips that you have for women out here with these guys, with these creepy crawly guys? What are some safety tips? I say always carry a piece, knife, pepper spray, something.
Yeah, I would say like pepper spray, knife. The birdie thing is
Mhm.
probably not as good as the other two because that one's just like a high pitched screech with flashing. That's just kind
Right.
of alerting people. That doesn't really protect you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like obviously, certain places don't allow you to have pepper spray or knives. So I mean,
Right.
that's I don't know. I would personally say pepper spray or a knife, and also to like always make sure like you don't walk around with your purse like
Yes.
unzipped. You always have everything zipped and you have it close to your body and don't
Mhm.
have it just like dangling around. Then people could just yank it. And
Right.
so
And then head
yeah.
on a swivel. And also, what are some
Yeah.
phrases like? Let's just say you're getting stalked online, right? And this person is insistent and harassing you. What are some things that you can say to kind of scare off the stalker?
Um, I guess I mean some because obviously there's always the chance they'll never believe you in anything you say, but I would say something like maybe either I'm trained in this, like I could beat your ass, or like I have a dad that's this, or I have a boyfriend, or I don't live alone, or like
Right.
whatever, or I know how to shoot a gun, or I know how to
Okay.
whatever this that something I don't know.
I know that one of my favorite things has been like I have forwarded your information to local law enforcement. Any continued contact with me would be considered direct harassment. So if you want to go down that route, try me. Because if there's one thing these losers are always afraid of, it's the cops. Because
That
they
is true.
know that there's a catalog of things you say and do online. They could just subpoena Snapchat or subpoena Instagram or subpoena Facebook for, and then you're in trouble. So keep that in mind too, that you do have the option to say, please leave me alone or I will call the cops. But
That'd probably be my number one response then.
yeah, so everybody just, stay safe out here. But anywho, that is all for today's show. If you liked today's show, or even if you didn't, if we've made good at least one good point on each issue, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Uh, my social medias and all the articles referenced will be linked below. And just kind of be sure to come back next Wednesday at 6:30 for an all new What's Going On with Dapper Don. Where can they find you, my friend?
Um, I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't been active on it in a while, but um, it's kind of hard. It's stupid, but it's just AHC Gummy the Wolf. It's kind of an old name, and I kind of branded it like a long time ago, and I can't
Right.
change my intro because if then I do have to change everything, and then all the
Mhm.
old videos don't make sense. So
AHC
yeah,
Gummy the Wolf.
yeah, it's like
Okay.
a blue wolf like photo, and I really don't. I really just make like random
Okay.
content, so it's not that. Yeah.
Anywhere else they can find you?
I do TikTok at AHC Wolves, so
Mm-hmm.
that's that.
Wolves spelled like WOLVES.
Yeah.
AHC.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah. And then you are Unseen Wolf on Snapchat as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those social medias will also be linked in the description. But for now, yeah, come back next Wednesday at 6:30. You don't want to miss what I have in store. No, I don't know what next week's topic's gonna be, but I usually come up with them on the fly, anyways. Bye bye. Peace out.